And a happy good morning to all of you out there in the listening audience today. This is Calvin Luper. We are a part of the Clara Luper radio show on this beautiful Saturday morning, Saturday, July the 7th, 2001. Guess I better join in the chorus with Reverend Drinkwater and the Redeemed team and go along with everyone else and wish him a happy anniversary. 32 years of preaching and teaching. Way to go, Reverend Drinkwater. We're extremely proud of the contributions you've made, not only in your church, but to the community. And we look forward to 32 more years of the Redeemed team led by Reverend Drinkwater. So, Reverend Drinkwater, you know you have our special thanks from the Clara Luper Radio Show, our special thanks from the members of our family, because we know and we enjoy the job that you have done and will continue to do. Today's program is a special program. It's special because, one, we know that you're listening, and two, because we're going to ask you to call that friend, call that neighbor, and invite them to be a part of this show. There will be some exciting things that we will talk about. We hopefully will hear from some of our team, some of our reporters, our ace reporter, and our dynamic hostess are in New Orleans, Louisiana, attending the NAACP National Convention. And I'm looking forward to a report on that because Mom is conducting a workshop down there for the youth council advisors from across the country. And we also have participants in the Act So program, and we'll be getting information on that. I'm looking forward to how Daenerys Dancy does, and Carla Reed does, and Andre Swanigan, and the other participants, and I'll be telling you more about their names and the activities that they're participating in, competing in this nationwide Act So competition. A special thanks also goes out to Dr. Rohn there at 23rd and Highland Drive. Dr. Rohn, I want you to know that we truly appreciate the fine job that you did on removing that painful and irritating tooth that made it possible for us to stand here today in a little more relaxed mood and not have to worry about it. Even though I did miss the trip to New Orleans, I feel so much better. But you've heard Mom talk about how the shortage of dentists there are here in Oklahoma City, particularly dentists that are minority, and that is a true fact because I got caught with a painful toothache on July 4th, and I tell you, it was virtually impossible. It was impossible on the 4th to find anyone that could take care of that, but then on the 5th, it was virtually impossible to find someone, and I'm just thankful that his schedule was of such a nature that he was open on July the 5th and was able to take care of me on July the 6th and to do a good job. At least it feels like it so far in the healing process. Today's program is being brought to you. This part of it is being brought to you by Gates Barbershop. Now, Gates is located at 2609 North Martin Luther King Avenue, and that's Gates Barbershop. Mr. Gates has a sign in his office, in his barbershop, that says, "We make people beautiful." And that is certainly true at Gates Barbershop, 2609 North Martin Luther King Avenue. Now, of course, with the more I talk, the more air gets in there. I'm going to do something special today, and I want you all to sit back and relax and to enjoy it. Get the pen and paper ready because we will be coming back with some highlights of activities. But now, call that friend, call that neighbor. And Fluky McDaniel, we're looking forward to your words of wisdom. You've been forgetting to call. And I want to make sure that this Saturday morning that Fluky McDaniels does his job. I've been told that if he doesn't do it, and Mom said make sure you tape the program, that there is a special meeting that Fluky will have to have with the with the Visit with Clara Luper staff. Well, most especially with Mom herself. She wants to talk with him. But I know that he has his words of wisdom. We just missed him the last couple of weeks. But sit back, relax, and enjoy this beautiful song. They guarantee to make you pat your feet and give you that extra special oomph that you need on this Saturday morning. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Sometimes I just feel like going home. Beautiful song, and I know that you enjoyed it. But then, as a part of the Clara Luper Radio Show, we started doing the first week in June. That was an addition of a new staff member, none other than Fluky McDaniels, as I affectionately call him. Young man that if you're from Oklahoma City or you've been around Oklahoma City, you know about the tremendous job that he's done everywhere he's been. And I particularly think of his experiences and the expertise that he shared with all of us down at the Children's Hospital complex there in the cafeteria and the banquet room. But better than that, we have him live and in living color this morning. Good morning, Mr. McDaniel. How are you doing?
Fine, fine. How you doing this morning?
Oh, pretty good. Sorry we missed you the last couple of weeks, but that got me in trouble, which in turn got you in trouble. But today we get to get out of trouble together, okay?
Yeah,
Okay, now if you look at the name of your program, you're part of the Clara Luper Radio Show, is Words of Wisdom. Am I correct?
that is right.
Okay, well, I'm going to cross my fingers and sit down here and listen and take notes. Okay, Fluky, the mic is yours. Tell us the words of
Good
wisdom.
morning to each and every one. A person is known by their speech. That's what I'll say this morning. And the individual is known in life by their speech. Thank you.
Short and sweet. A person is known by their speech. Now, that can go a lot of ways. And that what they say or how they say it. Well, Fluky's gone. I guess he left it up to our interpretation. And one thing about it, we know that we have the most intelligent listening audience in the entire nation, and that is, I know we all will come up with our interpretation of a man is known by his speech. Yes, last weekend this time we were preparing for the finals, for the end of a tremendous week of activities during the Miss Black Oklahoma pageant. Last week this time I was telling you about the breakfast at the gridiron breakfast at the young people and the staff and the contestants, the escorts and the pages. Everybody was having a good time there. And that gridiron breakfast, they say, was a fantastic success in that everybody got a little dart thrown at them. Particularly, I think in my case, they talked about my little stomach there and the way that the method that we would use to take pictures. And then I know that they talked about each other on the different ways that different people would say their names. But all in all, it was definitely a love breakfast. But the pageant was last Saturday. I'm going to tell you a lot about it. I'm going to tell you who won it, if you don't already know, who the first runner-up was, second runner-up, third runner-up. But I do want you to know that that report is coming. But sit back and relax and enjoy this particular song while we get all of it together, especially for you. Call that friend, call that neighbor, and tell them to be a part of this, the Clara Luper Radio Show. This goes out to my very special friends out there who I know are listening. Stay strong, be tough, because you can come through. You can make it over the mountain. That's what to do. Hometown IGA is located at 2001 Northeast 23rd. That's 2001 Northeast 23rd. They're at 23rd and North Martin Luther King Boulevard. Now, those of you who are out there and still have some special shopping needs or just your everyday, every week type shopping, Hometown IGA, where the best in bargains, the freshest in meats, the courteous in service. Hometown IGA, 2001 Northeast 23rd Street. Also, this part of the program has been brought to you by Chauncey Chiardina's Daycare Center. It's located, one of its locations is 1643 Northeast 50th Street. Chauncey Chiardina's, where Mrs. Gloria Matthews and Mr. Paul Matthews are the proud owners of a daycare center that has taken care of many a young person, not just 1 year, not 5 years, but over 20 years. Chauncey Chiardina's Daycare Center has been taking care of our youth. They have a very special program over there where not only are the young people challenged to keep learning on those days that they should be playing, or maybe they think they should be playing. She has an educational program over there that gives the kid a head start there when they get ready to go to the public schools. And when they are in school, when school is in session, they even have a special study time there. Chauncey Chiardina's Daycare Center, 1643 Northeast 50th Street. That phone number for more detailed information is 424-4656. Well, I have on the line with me a young lady that we've all heard a lot about, we've all talked a lot about, and we all appreciate a lot about her. She's been a part of the radio show for years now. She's been a part of the NACP Youth Council as an advisor for years. but she's also the judge coordinator, the state judge coordinator for the Miss Black Oklahoma pageant. I know that there's a lot of talking that has to be done to tell you about the Miss Black Oklahoma pageant, and I know that no one could better do that than my good friend, my dear neighbor, my advisor, my co-worker, Mrs. Letty Ruth Hunter. Welcome to the Clara Luper Radio Show on this a Saturday morning to be remembered. How are you doing this morning, Mrs. Hunter?
Oh, Calvin, I think I'm up and have my eyes open, and I'm listening to all of the radio programs this morning. And I do want to say hello to everybody that's listening to us today, and hello to each person that's in the radio land. Hoping
Okay.
that they did have a wonderful, wonderful week, and I hope that they attended the pageant on last Saturday night, and I hope that they did enjoy it.
Well, we know that they did, Mrs. Hunter. At least that I know. The one people that I've talked with were talking about the skit, the basic theme of the pageant. Sail on, black woman, in your endeavors as you celebrate and strengthen your heritage. It took them a minute to understand that, but then after seeing those beautiful young ladies, the beautiful pages, and those handsome escorts, they had a real good idea of what that theme meant. But you know, one thing that everyone is waiting on, and that is they want to know who won the pageant and who were the first and second and
Well,
third
now,
runner.
wait, now, Kevin. Don't go down the line so fast.
Well,
Because,
yes,
you know, that kind of material, I always turn it over to Mrs. Luper.
yes, Mrs.
And,
Hunter.
So I'm going to give them the information that I do have.
Yes, Mrs. Hunter.
So,
Don't make me laugh. That hurts.
oh, no.
Okay.
So, but we did have it was a wonderful show, and I really, and everyone seemed to have enjoyed it. We had a lot of good talent, and we had a wonderful audience, and we had some beautiful girls. And as I am looking here, I'm going to tell them who the winner was, and I'm sure everyone there was so happy and elated to see who the winner was.
Well, I know that, and it was a good crowd there. It was a little hot in the auditorium, but that was something we didn't have control of. You know, we had turned the air conditioner down. Hadn't had any problems with that air conditioner all week. But you know that's one of those things that happened when the crowd got there. It looked like the room got hotter.
Well, one thing,
but it was still a great program.
right, Calvin. But we had good participation, but usually, you know, when a room fills up, they absorb the heat or they absorb the air. So naturally, it made it real warm in there, where it had not been hot for us. It was hot.
Well, I think
because
that
of the body heat.
yeah, well, that added to the with the theme because we were proud to have as participants in the pageant the group Jaruba and the Caribbean drum beat, the drums, and that just added to it. And I thought that was really fitting because Jaruba took time out to come and be part of this pageant again because he was asked to by Mom, and she wanted to make sure that we all understood how important the drums, the rhythms of the drums have been in our lives as black people. And even on the ship, you know, oftentimes there was a drummer aboard the ships that would tell you when to dip the oar into the water and when to pull it out. And all of this was done by communicating with the drum. But that just added to it, and I know you're getting everything together there, but, you know, there were judges from across this nation that were here.
That's
And
right.
the young ladies were from across this state. And I tell you, it was definitely a proud time for the parents and the family and the friends, and for those of us who had worked with them during the course of that week, because I know that everyone has sort of picked a favorite. You know, you can't help but do that, and had your fingers crossed, and you
Well,
be real enthusiastic whenever they appeared on the stage. But this year's winner was
this
definitely
year's
something.
winner, I'm going to tell you who she was.
Okay.
But I want to let the people know that we had judges coming from New York, we coming from Texas, coming from Wichita, Kansas, coming from Arkansas and coming from Oklahoma, different cities in Oklahoma. So we had a number of judges, and they were from across the state. They weren't people that I knew. I met them for the first time. But I wanted to tell you the winner for the contestant was a girl from Muskogee.
Okay,
And
that
her
took a
name
while.
was Lorena Robinson. That was our Miss Black Oklahoma.
Lorena Robinson from Muskogee, Oklahoma.
From Muskogee, Oklahoma.
Oh my goodness
Right.
gracious! Now, what was her talent, Mrs. Hunter? Do you remember?
She did a
It was a dance.
yeah, she did a dance and in a beautiful blue costume, and that's about all that I really did see.
Right. Well, you were working hard then.
After the talent.
Well, I saw it. She danced her little heart out, and it was a sort of a religious thing. But then she used the scarves, and she used her interpretation. It was an interpretive dance, and it was outstanding. And evidently the judges liked it. So Lorena Robinson from Muskogee, Oklahoma,
was the winner. However, there were other girls who were in the top 10 who were, I thought that was real good. Not only did,
well, you know,
out of the number that we had, I thought it was just great that we had as many girls who come up in the top 10. And I had picked 3 people to win, Calvin. And, you know, I told people I was going to stop picking people because usually I just pick one. So this time I wrote down 3, and I said, if I write down 3, I am sure that out of the 3, one of them would be winners. And do you know what?
Yes,
Not
I do.
a single one of them came out as my winner.
Well, Mrs. Hunter, your luck is kind of like mine. You know, over the course of the years and during the course of the week, you be around these contestants, and you develop a certain affection for them, and you enjoy being around them, and you be wishing they all would win. But then there's always that 1 or 2 that stand out. And do you realize that in the 32 years of Miss Black Oklahoma pageantry, that I've only picked 1 winner, and this year my record stays the same, 1 out of 32, because of the fact that I did not pick the winner either. But my favorites were there, and they put on what I thought was a fantastic show, and it was something that all of each city, each state, each university had to be extremely proud of there. But Mrs. Hunter, I have on the other line this call from New Orleans that we were waiting on.
Right. I was wondering if Clara was going to call for New Orleans.
Right. Well,
I know I talked with them on yesterday.
Well, she's on the other line, and let me
you
go right on to
her.
that.
You can talk with her, and we have time. I'm going to get back with you.
Okay, I appreciate that. So there you heard it, ladies and gentlemen. Mrs. Hunter giving us a report on who the winner was, Lorena Robinson from Muskogee, Oklahoma, our new Miss Black Oklahoma. We'll be telling you a lot more about that. But we have long distance from the great city in New Orleans, in Louisiana, the seaport to the Gulf of Mexico. But we have on the line my dear sweet mother, the hostess of the radio show, and your friend and our friend, and a young lady who's taken a delegation, a chartered bus, to the NACP convention once again. Good morning, Mom. Which convention? Well, go ahead with your report, and there's some questions we want to ask you. How are you doing this morning?
I'm fine, and good morning to you wherever you are. This is Clara Luper from KTLV Radio in Oklahoma City, standing out the good composition door. Young people are standing ready to go in. I have just a second.
Mom, take your time. You're breaking up. Are you moving around or something? Because
no, I'm standing still.
Okay, well, stand still.
I'm in the Hilton Hotel.
Okay.
And I'm getting ready to go in to the musical composition competition. I don't have but a minute. I just want Oklahoma City to know that all of the kids are happy, and we are looking forward to returning home. Okay?
Yes. Is that all? This is not your first NACP convention. How many years does this make that you've taken the charter?
I've been here since 1957. We have thousands of people here that are competing. As I was saying, the competition started at 8 o'clock. Takes a lot on the music composition.
Well, you say you're in the music composition portion now? Hello? Hello?
Calvin.
Yes.
I'm talking away from you, and I'm here standing in the Hilton Hotel where the musical composition is getting ready to start, and I've got to get in. So just tell everybody's okay, okay?
Yes, indeed. Everybody's okay, okay. Well, I know
Okay.
in musical composition we have Dancy.
Rhoda, Mrs. Stones, and others.
Okay.
And I
Yeah.
got to be right now. Bye.
Okay.
Claire Luper broadcasting for Hilton Hotel.
Yes, Mom, you can tell. Thank you, Mom, for being a part of your show on this Saturday morning. We were anxiously awaiting that call from you. But as usual, something always happens, but then it happens for the good. We do know that the Oklahoma City delegation is getting ready to go into the musical composition competition there in New Orleans, Louisiana, as a part of the NACP Act So competition that it is a part of the NACP National Convention. Since 1957, the Oklahoma City NACP Youth Council has taken a chartered bus to the convention. This year we were able to do it again thanks to your help over the many weekends that have passed where the youth council members sold dinners, they collected cans, sold memberships, they presented programs, but all of it was for this week's activities and where they will have an opportunity to strut and show their stuff. And I know that we're going to have a good report coming back from the national convention. We have some strong competitors going down there, and I'm looking forward to hearing and to seeing what they will do. Now I'm sorry that we were breaking up on the phone call there, but a cell phone in a brick building with a lot of steel going through it, and a double connection on the radio lines. We were just fortunate that we got the call, and just to show our happiness, we want you to know that everybody is okay, and that's what our reporter said down there. I didn't get a chance to talk with our ace reporter, Coco, who is also at the NACP convention, and even though she's not of the age to be a competitor in the AXO, I know that she's observing and taking in all that she can. We'll go back to that interview with Mrs. Hunter where we'll find out more about the 2001 Miss Black Oklahoma pageant. But right now, sit back, relax, enjoy this beautiful song. Indeed, yes, indeed. This part of the program is being brought to you by Dr. A.L. Dow. Dr. Dow is the best optometrist in the state of Oklahoma. Now, let me go better than that. He's the best optometrist in the Midwest. He's the best optometrist in the nation. Dr. Dow is located right here in Oklahoma City at 934 Northeast 8th Street. Now, what you need to do is call and make an appointment. This is July. You know, school will be starting quicker than we like to think about. But then in order to help your children make better grades and maybe to help you do better in your everyday activities, you need to go by Dr. A.L. Dowles and have your eyes checked out. Now, you can call and make an appointment at 235-0536. Dr. A.L. Dow, the best optometrist in the nation. Give him a call, 235-0536. He's located 934 Northeast 8th Street. Of course, we couldn't go much longer in the program without reminding you that Allstate Insurance, Merrill and Hildreth's office at 730 North Britain Road, is a sponsor of today's program also. Now, Merril's phone number is 843-0811. Allstate Insurance, Merrill and Hildreth's office, where during the week of Miss Black Oklahoma activities, Allstate Insurance Company's Merrill and Hildreth changed hats, and then she was Miss Merlin. She did a fantastic job of catering each and every meal for the Miss Black Oklahoma contestants and the staff and even the people there in the hotel who were eating lunches and breakfast with us and dinners. They were bragging on how good a job Miss Merlin's staff did and how great and tasty the food was and how beautifully it was presented. And that's really something to do, to be able to cook for 100 people, 3 meals a day for a week. So you go, Merlin, you go. You did as good a job on that as you do in your insurance, but our insurance office is located 730 North Britain Road. That phone number, 843-0811. You don't necessarily need an appointment, but you can call and get some information before you get there. This is a very special program because we are celebrating the fact that we have a new Miss Black Oklahoma, Miss Lorene Robinson from Muskogee, Oklahoma. But the competition was not just as easy as maybe sounding, because there was a young lady from Oklahoma State University. Her name was Janice Jonica Jester, who was the first runner-up. Young lady did a dance, and I must admit that I thought she had won the pageant, but I wasn't a judge. My little vote didn't count. Matter of fact, didn't nobody ask me. So, but Jonica Jester was representing our great Oklahoma State University. She was Miss Black Oklahoma State, and she definitely celebrated, and she definitely strengthened her heritage and those people around her's heritage there during the course of the Miss Black Oklahoma pageant. And Miss Jester, Jonica, extremely proud of you. First runner-up for Oklahoma State University Cowboys. The second runner-up was a young lady from Tulsa, Oklahoma. From Tulsa, Oklahoma. I had her name. I have her name, and I know that she'll shoot me. But Priscilla Flagg from Tulsa, Oklahoma, was the second runner-up. And Priscilla did. She was fun to work with. She had such a beautiful personality and such a beautiful smile that it was just a joy to work with her. You know, that's a long week. And doing the activities that were held each and every day during the week, there was a challenging time for the contestants because they had to be alert. They had to make sure that they were picking up something that the speakers may have said. And I know that they also had to be aware of their beauty and their poise. And those kind of activities can kind of be sort of tiring for you because the pages, they had a hard time, and some of the, by dinner time, they were ready to be nervous and flip-flopping around. And the escorts, that's another story too. The escorts had a very important job that they did during that week, and we'll tell you a little more about it. But we've told you who the winner was and the first runner-up and the second runner-up. Now, there also were awards for Miss Personality, and those were the other two award winners that we will be telling you more about during the course of this program. But as I said, it's fun to talk and it's fun to be a part of the Clara Luper radio show. But every time you open that mouth, a breath of air comes in there, and it makes a difference. But this part of the program is being brought to you by none other than the Miss Black Oklahoma pageant, where we're saying thank you. Thank you so much for your ads. Thank you for your attendance. Thank you for your support during the Miss Black Oklahoma pageant 2001. Star Williams, who was the former Miss Black Oklahoma 2000, made a spectacular appearance there, and she talked with the young ladies. It was emotional because anytime the way Star explained it, the Miss Black Oklahoma pageant and being Miss Black Oklahoma had done so much for her career, and she was looking forward to continuing her education and continuing to represent our great city, our great state. Her great city is Tulsa, that's where she's from, but she was representing all of us, and we will, and you will, be hearing a lot about Miss Star Williams, Miss Black Oklahoma 2000. But the reign has changed. The crown has moved on. Lorena Robinson from Miss Black Muskogee is the new Miss Black Oklahoma. Lorena, this song goes out to you and your family and your church family. They were definitely in attendance there during the pageant. So I know you can sit back and relax and enjoy these next few minutes of this great motivating song. This part of the program is being brought to you by Leo's Barbecue, 3631 North Kelly Avenue, right here in Oklahoma City. Leo's Barbecue, 36th and Kelly Street. You know, he has some new hours there, and the big sign there that tells you what those new hours are. But you bet by that barbecue can be served and be being digested somewhere, wherever you may want to take it, because you can eat it there or you can take it with you. And with every dinner, you get a slice of that world-renowned strawberry cake. Now, I don't know how he makes that cake, but it is delicious. Leo's Barbecue, 3631 North Kelly. They invite you to come by during this beautiful weekend. I know you've had barbecue on the 4th, but come by for the best. One of the best, if not the very best. Leo's Barbecue, 3631 North Kelly. And you can call in your order, I believe. No, better not take a chance on calling in your order. Just best go by 36 and Kelly. I'm happy to have back on the line Mrs. Hunter. Mrs. Hunter, let's continue telling people about the Miss Black Oklahoma pageant that we just finished, where the theme was "Sail on, Black women, as you celebrate and strengthen your heritage." Mrs. Lady Ruth Hunter.
Right, and one thing we want to do is thank all of those persons who had breakfast from beginning on Monday through Friday, and the decoration was just elegant. And if you weren't there to see that decoration, you really missed the seat. Because each day the decoration was different, the sails were different, the ships were different. We had one kind of ship on the program, and then every day somebody would have a new kind of ship.
Mrs. Hunter.
So now for the...
Mrs. Hunter.
Yes.
In line with that, which dinner or breakfast or luncheon did you think was the most spectacular?
Well, you know, the most spectacular, I must tell you, it was Gloria Matthews, because she had everything that you would see along the sea. She had everything that you would see.
Well, what was the next most spectacular?
Well, the next one was the one on Friday. That was Lady Ruth Hunter's breakfast. Now, you know I was going to brag on myself.
Well, I'm trying to get you to understand which one is the...
I have to tell you
now what about the other one? I mean, there was one other activity.
Mrs. Douglas.
Mrs. Douglas?
Right. And I think that was on a Tuesday.
And on down the list.
And then, let me see, I believe the next person was Mrs. Davis's.
That
was on Thursday, right?
Now, Mrs. Hunter, do you realize who you're talking with? You know who you're talking with, right?
Right, Calvin Davis.
Yeah, right. Okay,
Calvin.
Okay, I knew you didn't. But, we were talking about the dinners and the lunches and how each staff member did a special job there, and I was trying to find out which staff member you thought had the most outstanding and the most beautiful and the most decorative dinner.
Right.
And luncheon or breakfast. And so far you've named off several outstanding staff members, but you seem to be missing what I think was one of the highlights of the week.
I know you're not going to say Calvin's.
Yes.
I know you didn't think I was going to say
yes.
Calvin Luper.
Yes, I did. Oh, thank you. You said it.
Calvin, bless you. I'm sorry that I disappointed you. I'm sorry. But
okay.
One thing that I can say was better than it was last year.
Yeah, well, we turned it out. Then with that weekend singers, we had everybody rocking and rolling and jumping up and down.
Now, that was out of sight.
Now, okay.
That entertainment was out of sight.
Well, I had to squeeze that out of you, didn't I?
Right.
But then tell us more about
that. But I didn't want you to think that you was that great.
Oh, well, okay. Let's go on, Mrs. Hunter.
Okay.
Because no matter what you say, I know that we had the best. But then that's open to the debate. We'll have some of the contestants tell us. But some other activities there, you were saying, some of the other things that happened during the Miss Black Oklahoma pageant after the winner was announced and her and her family members and the church members came up, the first runner-up, the second runner-up, those kind of things. You want to tell us about that?
Right. Okay. I think you told them who the first runner-up was. Did you not? So the second runner-up was Janice Harrell, and I do not have the town because the judges' sheets didn't have the towns on it. The judges' sheets only
Janice Terrell was from Miss Black Oklahoma City University.
Well,
she was being escorted by Reuben Hurricane Turner, I think was his name.
Okay, well, what about LaJoy Davis?
LaJoy?
LaJoy Davis,
LaToya Davis.
Well, Toya.
Yeah, LaToya Davis.
But
she represented Langston. She represented Langston University.
Okay.
She sung that song, didn't she?
Oh, she really did.
Oh, my goodness.
And then the fourth, that was it, and then the Queen, wasn't it?
Yes.
First runner-up, second runner-up, third runner-up, and then the Queen. So that is the way that they all went. And I want to tell all the girls I thought they were beautiful. And because you didn't win this time, don't give up. They said try again. So you can always come back, because if you give up, you never win.
Well, I don't think there were any.
Never win.
It didn't seem like there were any quitters in the contestants of the Miss Black Oklahoma pageant.
Don't stop getting in pageants because you didn't win this one.
No, that's
what I'm saying. Keep getting in them, and you'll finally win one.
Well, these young ladies, I just enjoyed thoroughly working with them. They all had a serious and a very strong religious background. They were all very focused on what their long-term goals were. They were aware of their talent, and they were doing their best to make sure that their talent for the competition, for the Miss Black Oklahoma competition, would be the best. But then they also were focused definitely on what their long range plans were, and that was encouraging to see young women with their goals just about set, and seeing them work so hard for it. And it was a joy to know that the scholarships that one that you gave, the two that the judge from New York, Mr. Harris, gave, that the
And,
judge from North Carolina,
and don't
that
forget Eva Knight.
yes, that's what I'm talking about. Eva Knight and her company,
Right.
the scholarships that they gave, the scholarship from Allstate Insurance Company, and the list goes on. But the
But I want
participants
to
in the
tell the
pageant,
audience that I had nothing to do with the winner. The judges made the decisions, and if they want to ask them, they can always call the judges, and if they want to, they call me. I tell them where they were from. You can call one from Lawton. You can call one from Denton, Texas, Arlington, Texas. You can call one from Pittsburgh, Texas. You can call one from Wichita, Kansas. You can call one from Virginia. You can call Harris from New York. And you can call one from L.A.
well,
So we have a long
you
span.
you can't make everybody happy. And I
But
know
if
the
they wanna
judges weren't
know,
trying to make everybody happy. They were
Because
there
it
to
didn't
do.
make me happy because they didn't pick any of my winners.
Well, they were there to do their job.
Their
They
job,
started
and
out
they
that
do
Friday.
it voluntarily,
Yes.
and they expense of their own, and they're interested in young people. Is why they say they come for the pageant because they enjoy the pageant, and they come because they're interested in young people and youth.
Well, not only that, it was just good to see them start out that Friday after the dinner, and get started with the interview process as to getting ready for Saturday night, and seeing them there, the attentiveness that they had during the entire pageant. They weren't like those of us who were there. They were actually working, and they had to pay attention to the young ladies' moves, if they were dancing, to their song, if they were singing, to their speech making abilities, and also to how that young lady carried it, because that responsibility of being a judge is a very heavy load, and to pick a winner out of that crowd, I know had to be difficult. But I'm proud of them because they went all the way to Muskogee, Oklahoma, and there from Muskogee, they picked a young lady that we will be proud of, that we are proud of, Lorena Robertson.
Right, and she is with Mrs. Luper now at the National Convention, and I'm sure she will enjoy it.
I'm certain she will too. We'll get a report on that. But then today, thank you, Mrs. Hunter. I guess we better start rolling on down. We've made it 54 minutes into a 60-minute show. We've touched all the bases. We've reminded people of Gates Barbershop that's located there at 2609 North Martin Luther King. And we've also told them about where they can get their very best in their shopping needs. Hometown IGA 2001 Northeast 23rd. Dr. A.L. Dow is located 934 Northeast 8th Street. And of course, Allstate Insurance Company, where Merlin Hildred is your agent. This is located at 730 West Britain Road. This has been a special day because, one, we made it. Thank you, Lord. But we've already told him that. But I want to publicly say thank you, Lord, for allowing us to be a part of your lives during this week, during this one past hour. We must accept the challenges that we have as black people. We must accept the challenges that we have as citizens of Oklahoma and Oklahoma City, Norman, wherever you're listening to this radio show at, by being good citizens, and that means by doing the best to keep your yard clean, keeping up the appearance of your neighborhood. But then maybe we need to add something extra to that, and that's by showing a new degree of concern. Okay, and then we want to show new concern for our young people and for our senior citizens. We've got to change our ways of ignoring those people that, even though we may not know them personally, but it doesn't hurt for us to stop and to reach out and to give an extra hand, to hold a door open a little longer, to say congratulations to a young person that's, or thanks to a young person that may be on a summer job working to save money to go and to continue their education. So this week, kind of make that part of your goal. Add a little something special to your tips. If you give tips, say a special thanks to the people that you run across that be helping you. The grocery boy there at Hometown IGNA, the young lady there at the young lady or the young man there at the McDonald's or at Kentucky Fried Chicken. They're trying, they're struggling. We can be encouraging to them, and I think that's what we need to do. But this week was also special because two good friends had their birthdays, and they celebrated it along with our great country, with America. So there's three birthdays that we're going to send out today. And the one goes out to Mr. C.P. Wilson, who celebrated his birthday on July 4th. The other goes out to Mr. Curly Lee Sloss Jr. III, who's celebrating his birthday on July 4th. And, of course, we're talking about the United States of America. But then there's another special one. Goes out to Reverend Burris. Even though he missed part of the Miss Black activities, he will be on staff, but I can understand that he was celebrating his birthday. Reverend Burris, this song goes out to you, Mr. Wilson Sloth. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Curly. Happy birthday, Charles P. Wilson. Happy birthday, Reverend Burris. Happy birthday, America. And may you all have many, many more. This is Calvin Luper saying thank you so much for being a part of the Clara Luper Radio Show this Saturday. Look forward to talking with you again next Saturday. Stay cool, be strong, and we know that you're going to be an asset to this community. We love you. Want you to love yourselves. See you later.
We'd like to thank each and every one of you for tuning in to the Clara Luper Show. Join Sister Clara Luper here each and every Saturday from 9 until 10 at your number one gospel station, KTLV. And until next Saturday, may God bless you.